She's a real woman with a real life. She's someone you can relate to. Dawn Newton.
Hey, welcome to the Dawn Newton podcast. I am your host, Dawn Newton. My guest today is known as the Facilitator. He is the founder of Star Magic Healing. His name is Jerry Sargent. Jerry is a powerful healer, a motivational speaker, international bestselling author, and renowned for transforming thousands of people's mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual lives. Whether his clients are dealing with a chronic illness, business issues, complex relationships, financial concerns, or other mental or emotional problems, Jerry's here to explain how his system of healing works and how we can access its powers. Jerry Sargent, it's great to talk with you. You're known as the Facilitator. You're the founder of Star Magic Healing. The list goes on and on. Powerful healer, motivational speaker, international best-selling author. I mean, there isn't anything here that you're not tapping into when it comes to mind, body, spirit, and empowerment. Thanks for talking with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here, Dawn. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk, Jerry, about a little bit of your history, reading your bio, and it's quite a remarkable story of, a previous life that you were leading and the life that you're leading today. I'm always curious about that because you had a lot of things that weren't really working in your favor, some choices that weren't really favorable, and how you chose to go a different path and what that awakening was or the aha moment. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I know we haven't got loads of time, so I'll give you kind of the machine gun version of my life story. I mean, I was fostered, adopted, grew up like an angry child, drank drugs like a lot of teenagers. Life spiraled out of control, got involved in a high-profile criminal organization in my sort of late teens, and was involved in drug smuggling, bank fraud, lots of different things. And to be honest with you, I really, really enjoyed it. I was making lots of money. I was young. I didn't really care. Ego was in full control. And this went on until about 2005 when I was involved in a car crash. And again, cut a long story short, I was in a taxi with my ex-wife and children, woke up, heard a loud crash, glass and wind flying everywhere. When the car came to a stop, there was no other cars on the road, and I thought it was a bit strange because I thought we were in a bad accident, and I thought we must have hit something. But when I got out of the car, I looked up the road. Two ladies were lying there, one with her ankles cut off, one that was physically okay. A bit further up the road was what looked like a dead body. These three ladies were crossing the road. The first one had come through the windscreen, smacked me in the face whilst I was asleep, got flipped over the car and died, and the second one had her ankles cut off. And I walked past the two on the side of the road because the guy had come out from a nearby factory, walking towards what looked like the dead body, and I saw this energy above it, which I now know was the lady's soul. I got closer and closer, and it kind of fizzled off into the distance. And then, I was looking down at a body, and it was smashed up, and it was like someone had taken an old car to the scrap heap, like whatever was inside the body. This energy, it had no use for it anymore. And it was a real kind of profound experience that kind of changed me. And I looked up to the heavens, and I remember saying, thank you. Like, I wanted a whiskey and a cigarette, and I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't drink whiskey. It felt like a time to celebrate. Shortly after this, healing things started happening. Like, my ex-wife had a headache, and I saw it in her head, and I just grabbed it and pulled it out, and it was green, and she got up off the bed like she didn't have a headache. I met my first spiritual teacher. She worked for Scotland Yard. She taught me how to remote view, bring my light out of my body and travel, how to access past lives, parallel dimensions. I had some encounters with angels, some shape-shifting reptilians in human form, like lots of different kind of experiences. I was taken up in a spaceship in New Zealand. I went to Alpha Centauri where I had a big download of light codes. And then I started going to these ancient mystery schools underneath the pyramids in Egypt in my meditations, and they were showing me how to use the codes. Once I sort of learned this stuff, people just come into my life that needed healing. And I was trying the stuff, and it was working. And then a load of other things happened. But in about 2016, we started Star Magic Healing. And, all of the codes that we were kind of shown. And we used them there to train other people. And we've trained thousands of people in over 40 countries. We're building healing centers, and we're training people to work in the healing centers. And all of this has happened since I got taken up in the spaceship by this blue Lyran being. They've visited me ever since, and they're just guiding me. They told me to write books. They've told me to train people. They told me we'd be building healing centers, and all of it's happening. So I'm kind of just, I don't know, I've just surrendered to this path. I mean, I didn't go on to it easily. I fought it like tooth and nail the whole way, because I thought all my friends are going to think I'm completely nuts, talking about angels and fairies and extraterrestrials, when all of my friends were kind of into, darker, more criminal stuff. So, yeah, it was kind of like a strange transition, but the universe just kicked me up the butt, and in the end, I just had to do it, and I'm so glad that I did,
What was the catalyst for you that made you trust it? Because I think that's the thing, is that we all have gifts, we all have this ability, but we don't trust. What made you trust?
You know what? Like, I think it wasn't so much trust in it. It was just, I'm such a curious human being. And like, when I'm shown something that you can't deny and that is 100% real, and it's kind of far out there at the same time, and it bends your whole mindset into a different kind of, like it remolds you and reshapes you, and you think, oh my gosh, I didn't believe in any of this stuff, but now I know it's real. I was like, I need to know more. I need to find out all that I can about this, and I just want to know it right now. So I just explored it, and I welcomed it, and I embraced it, just because I wanted to see what else was possible. And so I never really thought about trust in it. I was just so curious all the time. I was like a dog with a bone. I just needed to know everything, and they just kept feeding me. And yeah,
it's pretty fascinating, especially when something like that starts happening. You realize you're the conduit, you're the vessel, you're the messenger. And talk about healing. What does it mean to be a healer?
Well, like whenever we train people, we always say, the first thing I say to people is, I'm not a healer. I've never healed a single human being in my life. But if you go to our website, there'll be loads of people saying, oh, Jerry did this and Jerry did that. But all I did was facilitate the process. Like you say, we're a conduit, we're a vessel. And what we do is we create an environment so the other human being can self-heal by changing the frequency, by changing the environment they're in, by clearing and cleansing and shifting like multidimensional realities, past lives, just bringing soul fragments into healing, changing the computer code in the back end of their biological computer, their body and brain. There's so many different ways to go about it, but all we do is create an environment so they can self-heal. That's all we do, and we facilitate that process. We don't actually heal people.
And it talks about transforming thousands of people, their mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual lives. Talk a little bit about that too. What changes have you seen, or what are people experiencing when they're able to tap into the star magic healing?
Oh man, I give you so many examples. I mean, I was in India a couple of years ago, and this lady had been punched in the face by her husband 20 years ago, and he dented her cheeks, and she had lots of surgery, but no one could fix it. So I asked if anyone in the audience had any broken bones. She came up, and I used this technique where we sort of put people into sort of a semi-trance state and download new frequencies. I did that, got up off the floor maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes later, and her whole face had reshaped. The dent in her face had just gone, which sounds a bit crazy, but these things happen. I had a guy who was given like 24 hours to live, and they said, if you make it through the next 24 hours, then we're going to have to cut 10 feet of your intestine out and put a colostomy bag in. And this was on like Boxing Day a few years ago. And anyway, they gave him loads of drugs, and they got him through in the hospital. He made it through the next 24 hours. They booked him in to have his colostomy bag fitted in February. And anyway, he contacted me. We did 2 healing sessions, and he had diverticulitis, peritonitis, E. coli, and some tumors in his intestine and in his blood and this sort of thing. So anyway, we did the healing session. When he woke up, he had an actual real scar across his stomach, and I was in a different part of the UK. And so he woke up and he looked down. He couldn't believe it, and he felt lots better. He went back to the doctor. They did that. There was no tumors, there was no E. coli, there was no peritonitis, none of this stuff. And what we did is we took him to like an Egyptian healing chamber, which we use underneath the pyramid. Took him there remotely. The psychic surgeons just took out the tumors, and they did the work. And all I did was just watch. I didn't do anything. So many kind of stories. I had a lady that couldn't swallow. She her throat was just blocked. She was quite old actually, like 75, 80, and her niece or granddaughter or someone got in contact and said, could you help? And I said, of course I can help. And I didn't have a clue how I was going to help. And I always commit to it, just trust that the universe will sort it out. So I went into the healing session, and said, the question we always ask when we start a healing session is, please show me something I don't know. Help me facilitate this healing. And the first thing I saw was a green frog. And the green frog spat some venom into a jar. And then a blue light came down from space and mixed with this venom. I got an imaginary syringe, sucked up this frog venom and the blue light, and injected it into the back of her neck remotely. Next day, she walked out of hospital and her throat was cleared. And they were about to say, there's nothing we can do for her anymore. Like, we're going to turn off her life support machine because, she couldn't eat unless she was fed through a drip. So they were just going to kind of let her go. I mean, there's so many experiences I could go on forever.
Healing health issues, just life changes and life empowerment when it comes to relationships, the self-talk, self-esteem, becoming the best person or fulfilling your dreams. I mean, all of that, you talk about mind, body, and spirit and tapping into all of that, and how much our body holds so much history in there, whether it's our past life, trauma, things we don't even know that we have experienced or that we're still holding on to. You're able to tap into that to help us release those things.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I want everyone to be free. I want everyone to be just happy, healthy, full of joy. Well, waking up every morning with joy is their natural default state, and just absolutely loving their human experience. But a lot of people don't. And the key to actually enjoying your human experience is to experience your own wholeness, to fall in love with yourself, to realize that nothing outside of you can make you happy. They're just experiences. And to take like a real big, deep dive into your own cosmic heart, your own inner being, that labyrinth of magic, and just really realize the truth that you are a multidimensional being having a human experience. You can bring the polarities of dark and light into equilibrium, balance all of your inner geometry. And from that standpoint, once you realize your wholeness, everything external just flows anyway. So it's really like an inner job. It's an inner thing. But like you said, like we store so much trauma ancestrally from other parallel lifetimes, past and future lives, where our souls having experiences on this planet, other planets. Like, all of these experiences affect us in the now space. So what we do, like I said earlier, like, the body and the brain is like a biological computer. And just like a computer, our body and brain downloads information from the internet, and the internet is the quantum field. And within the quantum field, you've got past lives and future lives. They're like hard drives and USB sticks plugged into the computer. So what we do is go in and unplug people from those hard drives and USB sticks and change the data stream. It's a little bit like a laptop, right? If you've got a laptop, you open it up, you go to a website, and the website's blue. If you want to change it to white, you go into the back end and you change the code. And then it changes on the front end on the website. Now, what we do is go into the back end of someone's biological computer, and we access the USB sticks, the quantum field. We change the realities, so bring the soul fragments into healing, change timelines, and then it manifests in the physical because the data stream's changed. Like, it's all computer code, and that's the best way to kind of look at it.
And Jerry, how long does it take to rewire ourselves and to tap into that?
It depends. I mean, you could do it with 30 seconds for some people. It depends on the work you've got to do. There are other people where you might need to work with them 3 or 4 times, and change a number of different realities over a few sessions. But yeah, I mean, we've seen miracles happen in seconds and minutes, and then other times it might take hours, and then sometimes it might take a few weeks. It just depends. Everybody's kind of different. Everybody's had a different kind of soul history, different human experiences, different soul experiences.
When we think about, our body and energy, like our chakras and those energy centers and the vibrations, I think that's one thing that we take for granted or don't realize is that this is all energy, and realizing where energy will settle within our system, where it will cause illness or chronic issues, where our body's always trying to talk to us. We're not always a really good listener.
Absolutely. The body is literally a communication device, and every single body part means something. So if you've got issues with the liver, it's guilt, it's anger. If you've got stuff going on with the brain, it's the control centers. There's control issues. Like, everything means something, but we're not taught at school how to read our body and how to create the environment so we can self-heal. We're taught, let's go external, let's go to the doctors, let's get some drugs, let's get some pills, let's have an operation, instead of taking responsibility for our own human experience and realizing that we're the power, that we have everything inside of ourselves to recreate our own reality and create physical, mental, spiritual, emotional healing right now. And this is what we really should be teaching all of the children and everyone.
You've got your website, Star Magic Healing, and you've also got books out as well. If someone's wanting to get started, Jerry, where do we start? How do we start this process?
Yeah, the best thing, go to our website, starmagichealing.com, and join one of our free global meditations. We've got an online membership where you pay, well, it's free for 7 days. We've got meditation, light language transmissions, cosmic yoga videos. There's nutrition, there's masterclasses, there's Telegram groups. There's a whole array of tools and connections that you can make and get involved in that will help you on a daily basis. We've got plans and programs within that. You can try it free for 7 days. If you like it, come along, download the free meditation that we give to everybody. Come and try one of our group meditations for free. Try the 7 days free access for all of our tools. Just feel the frequency, see if you like it, and get involved.
Jerry, what does this work mean to you?
All I think about is all I from the moment I wake up every single morning to the moment I go to bed, it's just it's just me. It's my mission. Nothing else really matters apart from building these healing centers and creating a safe environment for the children to come and express their multidimensional abilities to help heal the human race and Mother Earth herself. There's nothing else that I really want to do. It feels like I was put on the planet to do this. It's everything and more.
Well, I appreciate this work and the opportunity to talk with you and just to get this information out. Where can we go to learn more information about you and your work?
Yeah, if you go to starmagichealing.com, there's tons of information, videos, all sorts of stuff you can read up on the website. And from there, you get access to YouTube. There's loads of videos up there, Instagram, Facebook, all of our social media stuff. So, yeah, just come and tune in. If you want to reach out, if you've got questions, you can email the team. If you decide to join our kind of infinity group, which is the kind of monthly membership, you can reach out and get a free call with our star buddies. And what they'll do is they'll talk you through absolutely everything that we do. Spend time with you on Zoom or on Telegram and just walk you through the process, answer your questions, and sort of guide you in the right direction to get started.
Well, again, Jerry, I appreciate this work and this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. It's a pleasure.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Dawn Newton podcast, and a special thank you to my guest today, Jerry Sargent, founder of Star Magic Healing. For more information about Jerry and his work, starmagichealing.com is the place to go, and be sure and check out my website, dawnnewton.org. The Dawn Newton podcast is written, produced, and hosted by Dawn Newton.